It was April the 41st. Being a quadruple.
All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. It's Wednesday. It's Wanderlust Wednesday here in the Cave. Is this 3 in a row? Unheard of. I'm trying to get this out on Wednesday. I'm hoping that's going to be the case. Having some technical difficulties, but if it worst case scenario is it's a Wanderlust Thursday, I guess. But I think we're going to be all right. We'll see. But I hope you enjoyed Rush yesterday. I really loved digging out moving pictures and playing that again for the first time in a while, especially that first side, even though it wasn't really the first side. Like, I wasn't playing an LP or a cassette, but you know what I mean. What are we talking about today? Well, this is Wanderlust Wednesday, where we try to throw some stuff at you that either you've never heard of before, something odd, or something you haven't heard in a really long time. Today is no exception. And today we're having a little fun because we're doing something that's from a comedian. And it's a song from the 80s that I absolutely was obsessed with. And let's talk about comedians for a second. Comedians in music, that was a thing in the 60s, well, even in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. Comedians would have songs that would come out and would be played on the radio. Of course, Weird Al Yankovic is the gold standard of that. I mean, there's nobody that can touch him on that. But there were plenty of artists that were doing that in the 70s and in the 80s. I think of Junk Food Junkie. Do you remember that song? That got played on the radio. Cheech and Chong's Christmas, of course, got played on the radio. Julie Brown, Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun. That had a music video. That got played on the radio. I think that Take Off, we did an episode on that. That's a very popular episode here in the Rock Cave. Bob and Doug McKenzie with, speaking of Rush, Geddy Lee on vocals in the background. And then later, Adam Sandler with his Thanksgiving song. And even later than that, I mean, I don't think it was meant to be a novelty song, but What Does the Fox Say was sung. That was 2 comedians who put that out. It was so huge. And then there's songs that maybe they aren't supposed to be parodies, but they kind of end up being parodies, but they weren't meant to be that way. And there's a little bit of that in some of the kind of fun songs that you hear out there. But my overall question is, does that happen anymore? You don't really hear that anymore. It's not really a thing, right? Is it like, what was What Does the Fox Say? Was that the most recent like parody, supposed to be comedy song that you heard played there? I mean, I'm probably missing something, but take Weird Al out of the equation and it just doesn't really happen, but it was a thing, is what I'm trying to say. Hello Mother, Hello Father, I mean, all that stuff. And you got that from Dr. Demento. So if you didn't have access to Dr. Demento, then you missed out on a whole lot of comedy. And a lot of it was song. So we are talking about Kip Addotta, a comedian. He was a stand-up comedian from Illinois, born in 1944, and I think he was raised by his grandmother. She wanted him to be a priest. He passed away when he was 15. His book says that his grandparents were from Sicily, and she was in the Italian mafia. Who knows? But he didn't become a priest. He became a barber and managed a salon, and then got married a couple of times, 3 kids. Says, I'm going to be a comedian at age 27. Picks up the family and moves them to L.A. And lo and behold, he lands a spot in the Comedy Store, and within a few months, his career takes off. And he was on all the TV shows of the time. He was on Midnight Special, Mike Douglas, The Tonight Show, Dinah. Remember Dinah? American Bandstand, Hollywood Squares. We grew up with Hollywood Squares. He opened for Liza Minnelli, Paul Anka, Diana Ross. The only comedian I knew that was opening up for people like artists like that was Steve Martin. There's another one for you, Steve Martin and King Tut. That's huge from my childhood, late 70s. I had that record. It might have been the first comedy record I ever bought. So anyway, fast forward, we're going to 1984, and Kip Addotta puts out a song. It's called Wet Dream. Anyone remember this song, Wet Dream? WPLR, I quote them a lot because they just were such a big influence on my life. WPLR out of New Haven, they would play this song regularly. It was on heavy rotation, and this was right up my alley in 1984. I was like a sophomore, junior in high school, and just weird, funny comedy, right up my alley, like I said. And it's all lyrics that have to do with fish or the ocean. He talks about his Barracuda, his car being in the shop, so he was renting a rented Stingray. He had to pull over and go to a Shell station, meets a girl. She said things he couldn't fathom. She was too deep. She could drink a lot. I'm not going to give it all away, but this was hysterical to me and so clever and so funny. And I just was obsessed with it. There's probably like 3 people in the world that know this from my teenage years as far as me being obsessed with this song. But I just really, really love this song. And I thought of it the other day and I was like, you know what? I don't think I covered this, and it's perfect for Wanderlust Wednesday. I want to know, does anyone here know this song? Anyone remember this? Anyway, that's your song of the day. You're doing Wet Dream from Kip Addotta, the comedian. Posting that below. You're going to give it a listen. Listen to it a few times so you hear the lyrics. And that's what you're checking out today. And I don't know, what else we got there for comedy songs? Post those below. What you remember. Can't wait to hear. That's what you're doing. You're throwing comedy songs out there. Stay tuned for more. And as usual, catch you on the flip side.